Hello again, Bill Pfeiffer speaking from Marysfield. Good to be with you. This beautiful poem, piece of verse by Joseph Mellon's 1895. The ambulance down in the valley came across my desk, and it's really worth sharing. Stick with me. It may be a little slow in the beginning, but it's really good, and it has a message, a kind of a piece of wisdom that really would be profound for all of the things that are happening in our culture at present and around the world. Let's stop and just listen, and perhaps to the end, and then you'll be able to make a judgment. Be with me, please. 'Twas a dangerous cliff, as they freely confessed, though to walk near its crest was so pleasant. But over its terrible edge there had slipped a duke and full many a peasant. So the people said something would have to be done, but their projects did not at all tally. Some said put a fence around the edge of the cliff, some an ambulance down in the valley. But the cry for the ambulance carried the day, for it spread through the neighboring city. A fence may be useful or not, it is true, but each heart became full of pity. For those who slipped over the dangerous cliff, and the dwellers in highway and alley gave pounds and gave pence, not to put up a fence, but an ambulance down in the valley. For the cliff is all right if you're careful, they said, and if folks even slip and are dropping, it isn't the slipping that hurts them so much as the shock down below when they're stopping. So day after day, as these mishaps occurred, quick forth with those rescuers sally to pick up the victims who fell off the cliff with their ambulance down in the valley. Then an old sage remarked, "It's a marvel to me that people give far more attention to repairing results than to stopping the cause, when they'd much better aim at prevention. Let us stop at its source all this mischief," cried he. "Come, neighbors and friends, let us rally. If the cliff if the cliff we will fence, we might almost dispense with the ambulance down in the valley." "Oh, he's a fanatic," the others rejoined. "Dispense with the ambulance? Never. He'd dispense with all charities, too, if he could. No, no, we'll support them forever. Aren't we picking up folks just as fast as they fall? And shall this man dictate to us? Shall he? Why should people of sense stop to put up a fence while the ambulance works in the valley?" But sensible few, who are practical too, will not bear with such nonsense much longer. They believe that prevention is better than cure, and their party will soon be the stronger. Encourage them then with your purse, voice, and pen, and while other philanthropists dally, they will scorn all pretense and put up a stout fence on the cliff that hangs over the valley. Better guide well the young than reclaim them when they're old, for the voice of true wisdom is calling. To rescue the fallen is good, but 'tis best to prevent other people from falling. Better close up the source of temptation and crime than deliver from dungeon or galley. Better put a strong fence round top of the cliff than an ambulance down in the valley. Much better to solve a problem at its source, isn't it, than to try to deal with all of the results that occur with not dealing with the problem. We do this in our culture so often. Jails and prisons are supposed to be places of reclamation, places where people are able to redeem themselves and rejuvenate themselves and become better and bigger and more productive people and members of the society. But we see it as punishment, and that's really a silly thing, isn't it? If we're about anything, it's about loving other people and wanting to do what's good for them, and not just simply to punish or to hurt other people, even those who have done a difficult thing and a bad thing in terms of our culture. Huh? So keep on trying to put up the fence around the edge of the cliff, and instead of buying and spending loads of money on ambulances after people have fallen. Better to deal with the problem at its source than to deal with all of the problems that occur after. Happiness tomorrow always depends on knowing the truth today. And this is a simple truth, but it's one that we continue to ignore to our own detriment. God bless you.